Hi ladies, it's Mandy, and this week we have been studying with Good Morning Girls about friendship. And so today I'm very excited to talk to you about something that was placed in my heart a long time ago about friendships. I believe there are three different kinds of relationships you need to have. You need to have a Jonathan-David relationship, you need to have a Titus 2 woman, and you need to have a Paul and a Timothy. Here's how these relationships break down. You can have a David and Jonathan. David and Jonathan their story is found in 1 Samuel 18, and that relationship was an accountable relationship. These were two people that were at the same place in their walk with the Lord. They both loved God, and they wanted to do what was right. These two looked out for each other. They had each other's back, and they were there for one another, even at the sake sometimes of their families not agreeing. So it's important to have these kind of relationships where you know that they will be iron sharpening iron relationships, that they are going to be relationships that are people that have your back, and that they are going to be people that are going to tell you the hard things, because sometimes things that we need to hear are not always easy. So that's the first kind of relationship you need to have, and you need to have at least one David Jonathan. The second kind of relationship you need to have is a Titus 2 woman. This is your mentor, and it kind of goes hand in hand with the Timothy and Paul. But this one needs to be a woman that is further down the road than you, that she can teach you the things that Titus talks about. To be a lover of your husband, to be a lover of your home, and a lover of your children, and to love the Lord, and to be kind and gentle and meek. This kind of woman is probably going to be somewhat older than you, and she is going to have experienced life ahead of you. You're not in the same life station. You are in two different life stations. Now, for me, this woman has changed from being a Titus 2 woman to being more of a Paul, just a Paul, because our life stations kind of have caught up. But I do have some very special women in my life that have been Titus 2 women that have showed me how to parent, because they were parenting, even in some cases they were parenting me. They have showed me how to love their husbands way before I ever had a husband or even thought of a husband. They showed me how to minister, and they showed me how to love Jesus. And so those relationships were very important. The next kind of relationship that you want to have is a Timothy and a Paul. A Timothy is somebody that's right below you spiritually. Now, I'm not saying this that I want you to go around going, ooh, this lady, she hasn't got it all together, she's below me spiritually. But you know the kind of woman, the newer Christian, somebody who hasn't walked in the faith as long as you, somebody that you can mentor, somebody that you can invest in. But maybe you're in the same life station, and that's okay. Maybe you're helping a mom maybe you have a 3-year-old and you're helping a mom with a 1-year-old, because you've been just a little bit further than she has, but you're not so far into parenting, maybe not teenagers or, empty nester, that you've forgotten some things. So that's one kind of relationship. And this is very important, especially in our spiritual walk. Somebody who's been around the Bible, who understands the scriptures maybe a little bit differently than you. But then you also want to have a Paul, somebody that's ahead of you spiritually. Now, this is easier to find because we always think that other people might be more ahead of us spiritually. At least I hope that's our heart, is that we're not going around thinking, oh, they're below me, oh, they're ahead of me. But this kind of person is somebody who maybe again in the same life station, but they have been walking with Jesus longer. They have a walk with the Lord that you want to model. And maybe they even parent the way you want to model, or they are an encouragement to you. So and like I said, your Paul or your Timothy can be your David and Jonathan too. So it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have 4 or 5 different kinds of friends. You just need the kinds of relationships that are pictured in the Bible. Jesus took time with his friends, and he taught them how to minister. He said that the disciples were his closest friends. And so I think it's important that we realize that friendships aren't just about who you like to go get Starbucks with or who you like to go shopping with, but who can you invest in, who can invest in you, and where can you learn, and how can you minister. Worship with your life.